Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. A little bit earlier on the stream, which is a good thing. I planned on doing these more often and earlier as time goes by. And we're going to start things off here by queuing for the Crown of the Immaculate. It's a trial that's just after the dungeon that we did last night. We did Mount Gulg last night. So let's queue up for that Crown of the Immaculate. Being that I'm playing a DPS, this might take a little bit of time, but hopefully not too long, being it's earlier in the day. We're headed up there. Up in that area ahead. Just gonna do a little bit of dancing while we wait. Oh, let's see. So far it's still just me in the queue. Well, that's only a minute in though. Here's hoping that it'll load up pretty soon though. Average wait time is less than 5 minutes, so here's hoping. This isn't something I can do with my trust either, so I am dependent on people queuing up for this. Boy. Oh, there's another DPS that's queued up now. Just patiently waiting for this to pop. No, it's not the most entertaining thing, but hopefully we'll get there. While I'm waiting for this, I'm just doing a little handcrafting IRL. working on a Christmas gift for my niece. That's one thing, that when you're a DPS rather than a tank or a healer, having something to do while you're waiting in queue is always good. I should have done this a little bit earlier in the day even, because earlier in the day there would have been roulettes popping more often. Now it's just a matter of time. Oh, there's a third DPS queued. It's taking its own sweet time, but that's okay. Later today in another stream, I'm going to hopefully later today in another stream, I'll do the entire role quest line for casters for the magical DPS. I just want to do that in one solid run so that it's a contiguous story there. Otherwise, I'd start working on that while we're waiting. Which is normally what I would do, is break things up and do something else in game while I'm waiting for the queue. Oh, there's also a tank in queue. Lovely. All right. Oh, and that's my mother calling, so I need to mute my side. Sorry about that. That was just my mother, but you know, we didn't have anything happen. Oh, there's 2 tanks in queue now. So we're needing 2 healers and a DPS. Hopefully soon. Oh, 4 DPS, 2 tanks, just waiting for 2 healers. Patience. Just gotta be patient. Oh, we lost a DPS from the queue. Do a different dance. Here we go. Wow. I was not expecting it to take this long. All we can do is wait. I could go visit my retainers. I think that's what I'll do. I'll start working on cleaning up my inventory a little bit, visit my retainers, and do a little something there. Get involved in something and it's sure to pop then. That's a pretty dress, a little bit. We'll save that. There we go. Alright, now the fun begins. Okay. So if everybody locks in, we're good to go. There we are.
Are you so determined to die? One last chance, villains! Bow down and acknowledge your king! Your god!
Time to kick somebody's butt.
Come! Prepare for judgment! This will be a mercy! To me, my servants! Feast upon these villains and their foul sins! I will crush you! Fine! Fine if you refuse to die! I will strip you of the illusion of will! Then you will suffer! Yes! That will be your punishment! Receive of me my blessing and rise higher! I will crush you! Suffer, suffer, suffer! Suffer and know your folly! I will strip you of the illusion of will. I will crush you. Forward. Damn you! Why do you not fall? Why? Why? It burns! It burns! What is this?
No, he's transforming now.
The light surges within me. Such bliss. I see now. This is the passion of my ascension. Very well.
No, he's
I
hot.
shall embrace this trial.
Alright.
my wrath! My wrath!
Messed up my combo.
Your reckoning comes! I shall excise the sin of your existence! Know your place! Your place! Your place! Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Atone with your life! Know your place! Your place! Your place! Atone with your life! With your life! Feel Know your place! Your place! Your place! Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath! Atone with your life! With your life! But I am all powerful!
So there's that. Let's go. Alright, so we did it. We defeated him. Let's see where we go from here. Rain says, is that Vothri? Rain says, I see. It's finally over then. Now night can return to all of Novrant, bringing salvation to both of our two worlds. Upon speaking with Reen, several cutscenes will play in sequence. So I need to set aside time to view them in their entirety. Alright. That's a pretty good cue for me to mute this. Or mute my voice, so there's no echo.
Why am I cast down? But it is you who are the villains. Father told me that I am hope. I am righteousness. That I am a god. That is why I was born. As man and sin eater both. I kept the people safe. They respected me. Worshipped me. How can this be? I should be the one looking down at you. Help me! Damn you! I am your god!
Look. The sky.
Fools! Were it not for my decisive action, the whole city would have been overrun, razed to the ground. Yet they dare to complain about casualties? Spare me. I'll wager they were put up to it by those wretches who seek to usurp me. They're stirring up the citizenry. But if they think I will yield to the likes of them, they are gravely mistaken.
To be subjected to such deplorable treatment, such ingratitude. You have my sympathies, sir. You do so much good for this city, and you could do so much more were you not surrounded by fools.
Who are you? You're not supposed to be in here.
My apologies for the intrusion, but I come bearing a proposal, one that will ensure the longevity of your reign. But give me the word, sir, and I will bring hither a Light Warden. By giving its power to the babe within your lady wife's womb, we shall create a transcendent being, a king to rule over all. And as sire to the king, your authority will never again be in question.
Amazing. Before my Vorthri, they behave as docile pets. With this gift, my line shall be guaranteed power for perpetuity. We shall rule the whole world.
By all means, sir. United under Yulmor's banner, men will cease fighting and abandon their ambitions. Thus, they will grow fat and complacent, and in their sloth, seal your supremacy.
Are you all right? Say something!
12 for Fend. She cannot contain the light. She's beginning to turn. Urianger, if you've aught up your sleeve, now is the time.
It's changing back!
The combined power of every Light Warden is too terrible a burden for any one soul to bear. And so I shall relieve you of it.
Exarch! What are you doing?
I will channel this profusion of power to the Crystal Tower and use it to travel to other worlds. As I have dreamed of doing ever since I first learned of their existence. Who would choose to remain here in this dying realm when they might go elsewhere and begin anew? Not I. And thus did I use you.
No, I don't believe you. It doesn't make sense.
Damn you! We won't let you do with her as you please.
Do not interfere! Please, I beseech you all, let him go!
You knew of this, Urianger. 'Tis all a fiction. Such vaguely defined acts of teleportation stand no chance of success. The Exarch will never live to see another world, as he knows only too well.
Then, what does he mean to do?
He means to take the light with him into the Rift, where he will die. From the beginning, he intended to sacrifice himself to save our friend and Norvrent.
At journey's end, an opportunistic thief makes off with the hero's prize. A paltry way to end a chapter, I concede. Yet your tale will continue, and my role in it will scarcely be remembered. Worry not. Whatever should become of me, I will be happy and free, safe in the knowledge that I have played my part.
Graha, best boy!
Thank you for fighting for this world, for believing. Fare you well, my friend, my inspiration.
Only those who possess the royal eye of the Allagan Imperial line are capable of controlling the Crystal Tower. Such individuals do not exist in the First. Therefore, in all likelihood, the Exarch arrived here with the tower. This much I had surmised, yet I could not discern his grand scheme. To think that he went through all this trouble for the sake of a single hero. It's almost admirable in its absurdity. Alas, it is not your grand scheme that will succeed, but ours.
You bastard!
Stay put. Your friend is still alive, but whether he remains so depends on you. What a disappointment you turned out to be. I placed my faith in you, let myself believe that you could contain the light. But look at you now. halfway to becoming a monster. You are unworthy of my patronage.
Okay, so what to say? What do you intend to do? Or was it you that created Voss, or wasn't it? I'm going to ask what he intends to do, because we had the Echo showed us what he's already done.
I am an Ascian. My heart's sole desire is to usher in the Great Rejoining. 100 years ago, I entrusted my comrade Logriff with the task of increasing light's sway over this world. This we sought to do by manipulating heroes. When that failed to achieve the desired result, I created Vorthri. But thanks to your meddling, that too has ended in failure.
What was your true purpose in approaching us?
By your 12, boy, have I not told you before that everything I said was the truth? You were specimens by which I might gauge man's potential as it stands. I genuinely had an interest in you, genuinely considered taking you on as allies. Provided she could contain and control the light. If not, then she, and by extension you, would be of no use to me. 'Twas as simple as that.
So, we've been found wanting. How disheartening. But even had we fulfilled your conditions, there was no guarantee that we would cooperate. What then?
Then I simply kill you all. At the very least, it would restore the world to the way it was before you went about trouncing Light Wardens willy-nilly. Suffice it to say, it would be most inconvenient to have all that light taken away, and I would be lying if I were to claim his actions didn't have me worried. You still retain your form and your senses, but you have all but become a Sin Eater. Whether you will it or no, your mere existence will serve to engulf the world in light. Those in your company will likewise turn into Sin Eaters, and in time you will succumb to your base instincts and hunt innocents to feast on their sweet, sweet ether. Those few with the will left to fight may rise up against you, but before your absolute might, they will quickly know despair. There is no hope. We are finished. Mankind is finished. Ah, the irony. What Vorthri achieved through bliss, you achieved through despair. But I have overstayed my welcome. I shall look forward to seeing you bring the world to its knees, hero.
Exarch!
I have naught to show for all the time and effort I invested in you. He is a small token for my troubles. I did not expect that I could learn aught from man, but I may yet learn something from all the knowledge he had hoarded for his precious hero. I pity you, I do. Your friends are now your foes. If you do not kill them, they will kill you. When it all becomes too much to bear, seek me out at my abode in the dark depths of the Tempest. There, you may complete your descent into madness with some dignity, far from prying eyes.
Till then, I bid you farewell, Eater.
Ah, finally.
Alright, so what shall I say here? Was it just a dream, or what happened? I'm gonna ask if it was just a dream.
You're confused. And small wonder. After you collapsed, emet-selch vanished. Then Reen did what she could to stay the raging of the light within your body. Thanks to her, you're still you, but she's only delayed the inevitable. You're not going to like what you see, but you still need to see it. It's like this all over. The whole of Norvrad is shrouded in light again. And it's because of you, and the power you absorb from the Wardens. No one knows but your friends. When they carried you down from the mountain, they told everyone waiting below that they didn't understand why the light had returned. And now they're out there trying to allay the people's fears, while searching for a way to save you. If you're well enough to be up, you're well enough to get some fresh air. Better that than stewing in here. Go on. Go.
Troubling. Very troubling. Alright. Let's talk to the manager of suites. The manager of suites seems surprised to see you up and about. Oh, miss, you're awake, he says. You were injured during the foray to Mount Gulg, yes? I was here at my station, as always, when they carried you in on a makeshift stretcher looking disturbingly bereft of vigor. And to compound my worry, the sky has, well, I'm sure you've seen, it has everyone rather concerned, to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you mayhap consider a stroll around the city to reassure our anxious citizens? Braggy was one of those who helped convey you to your chambers, and he has visited several times since to inquire after your condition. Alright, so let's go see Braggy. Whereabouts is he again? He is over there, near the marketplace. Well, we'll just run over. It's close enough to not teleport. Alright, Braggy. Braggy says, well, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. Then they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor exarch away in the midst of the chaos. Wicked wight, what is this world coming to? Bah, but moaning never solved anything. Did it? Nay, in times like these that we Crystarian folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade with Yulmore is back on the table. We'd best make use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Chesmel was worried sick about you. A healer wringing her hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, let me tell you. Alright. Gotta go speak to Chesmel. She'll be... Where is she? She's up this way. Oh, around this way. Never mind, I went the wrong way. Wrong way, Corrigan. There she is. Chesmel says, Oh, sweetie, you're alive. No one's been allowed to see you. Even Spagrit Scourgeons were forbidden from making visits. Green was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to Eater corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure for your condition. I worry to see their faces grown ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse of exhaustion. And our own Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. Alright, let's go see Morin. He is down at the Tessellation. And we'll just run there. go up top. See Storybook Man. There he is. Alright, Morin. Morin says, "Confound it! This says the same thing as the last. Mayhap I should approach the problem from a different perspective." Yeah, it's like a dark twin over there. Morin says, "Is it truly you? Not some figment of my imagination?" "Oh, but this is wonderful. 'Twould seem our prayers have been answered." Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the light wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definitive conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you are awake, however, I'm hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Catullus, however, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparation for battle, though against what foe we are as yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Yes, a dark twin over there. Anyways, let's go see Catullus. Up in the crystalline mean. Alive and well, I see, Catullus says. You gave us all a proper fright, you know that. Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying about what's become of you, or the Exarch. Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we'd need to experiment with different patterns and materials, and I'm not sure we have that kind of time. Sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Greetings, Glenard. The master of the stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies are the perfect answer to this predicament of yours. Catullus says, and by genius you mean old Granault? He is a man of unrivaled gifts. I won't argue with you there. Catullus says, but what good does his talent do us if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide nor hair of Granault since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. Leonard says, that does make things difficult. Still, if the eccentric is someone you destined to meet, I wager it'll show up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many's a tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. Catelyn says, we'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Grinald, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh? Glenard says, before you do that, you're actually the reason I came here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing by the stairs, then I've a few regulars I'd like to introduce you to. Leonard says, I'd best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Catelyn says, Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which this city was founded, or the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to. Alright, Catelyn. Oh. Looking at me with a concerned eye. Alright. Catelyn says, Are you alright? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This damnable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch once liked to stand there and feel the wind on his face. Alright. We'll go take a moment and feel the wind on our face. If it's good enough for the Exarch, it's good enough for us, eh?
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
What'll I say? The scenery is worse, I'd rather people knew. Or the secrecy is worse, I'd rather people knew. Or I still can't believe it's coming from me. Or it's all such a mess. Secrecy is worse, I'd rather people knew.
If you're thinking of coming clean, don't. It might make you feel better, but it would make things 100 times worse for them. They're better off not knowing. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then. As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
Oh, I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle. It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them.
Oh, Phaera, that's sweet, but you can't run away from the problem.
What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Oh, my dear beloved sapling, you are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Alright then, time to go talk to people. On here. Zem de Magie, alright. He says, "Oh ho! I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro." What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I'm happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations, as any in this city could tell you. He's a man of wisdom and compassion and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one, except the Exarch, is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Alright, now to the Cabinet of Curiosity. Alright. Alright, Morin, what do you got to say? Morin says, oh, was there something else you needed? If you've come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little as yet to tell. Records pertaining to the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that's what interests you. Less than a decade has passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon thereafter. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or Voberits fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together did they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name. But the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin. So a light to the tower he summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, 'twould seem to be a mystery that still remains unresolved to this day. Okay. And the last spot we're going to? Amuro Launch. To Cassard. Alright, Cassard, what do you got to say? He says, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, that'd be the Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw her to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at the usual post at the Assessor's Gate. So just outside. Alright. Let's go talk to her. Go outside to Lakeland and where she met us when we first got here. There she is. Hello, Lena. Lena says, I was not told you had woken. A welcome surprise. Now, if only the exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this arrival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moment before he left to join you in Colucia, the exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower, into which only the exarch himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such information, but the battle with Vothri loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look on his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me. I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Forgive me. I trust in the exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with questions of your own, have you not? Ah, I see. I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be in far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Lena's urging me to follow her. Come, meet me in the ocular and I will unlock the door within. Alright, let's head back to the ocular. Get on the bike. And back to the city. The gatekeeper says, the captain said to expect you. Alright, let's go in.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatir, then? By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star. Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope! We are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th umbral calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only woman who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was her. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, she would rise above. Where others would break and run, she would carry on. The Warrior of Light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were her deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light herself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. She was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to her. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me. But in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the Rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the Light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
What indeed? I mean to hunt down emet-selch. I mean to rescue the Exarch. I mean to have a few words with both Emmet and the Exarch. I think I'm going to have a few words with both of them.
Then we should be on our way. Dacian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
Alright then. Before we journey on any further, I'm going to wrap up this stream. And I'll need to do the role quests that are for the magical DPS. We'll do that in a separate stream later today. And then return here to continue on with the journey. Alright, so thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you next time. And in the meanwhile, have a great day, great night, great afternoon, whatever the case may be. And like I said, I'll see you next time. Alright, bye for now.